Upper East Side queens aren't born at the top. They climb their way up in heels, no matter who they have to tread on to do it.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 times Gossip Girl tackled serious issues.
I should drink.
Me too. A vodka on the rocks. Big glass, not too many rocks. 3 olives.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most difficult issues that this teen drama tried to deal with, even those that were never really questioned or elaborated on. Since plot points will be discussed, a spoiler alert is now in effect. What's your favourite scene from Gossip Girl? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Social Sabotage. New Haven Can Wait and All About My Brother. The Gossip Girl characters were big fans of scheming, but more often than not, their meddling had devastating consequences. For instance, Blair took things too far when she forced Serena to tell the Yale dean about Pete Fairman.
He died almost 2 years ago when I was with him. What happened was a tragedy, and I am filled with regret over it. But I was not responsible.
Were you responsible for the sex tape?
Blair?
It wasn't very sexy if you ask me.
Blair.
Any avid viewer knows what a sore subject that is, considering the way he passed and how difficult a time it was for Serena. It was rather uncalled for.
A guy died and you use it as part of a game. Who does that?
It isn't a game, and this isn't just another thing on a laundry list. This is Yale, my dream. You crossed the line.
And so did you when you brought up Pete.
Another notable example involved the one and only Georgina, who was known for her saboteur ways. She took things way too far while messing with Serena by outing Eric, which obviously had huge consequences.
You didn't know Eric was dating a boy. This doesn't make any sense, because that would mean that Eric is... And he's not. He's just not.
Needless to say, there are some lines that should simply never be crossed. Number 9. Toxic relationships. Various. Many consider Blair and Chuck to be relationship goals, but we have to address just how toxic their love truly was.
You said you would stand by me through anything. This Blair is anything.
I never thought that the worst thing you would ever do would be to me.
We know it's a dramatized television series, but they definitely didn't model a healthy relationship for fans. More often than not, the duo wasted their time playing games and hurting each other instead of just being honest.
Going to the movies. Chuck and Blair holding hands.
We don't have to do those things. We can do the things that we like.
What we like is this.
The game.
For one thing, she spent way too much time trying to make him jealous. And we'd be remiss not to mention the time he traded her to his Uncle Jack in exchange for a hotel.
I did what I had to win.
No.
I can't let my feelings cost me all that I've built.
Even if it means losing me instead.
There is no universe in which that's acceptable. It's been argued that by glamorizing what Chuck and Blair had, the show normalized and promoted toxic and potentially dangerous relationships. Number 8. Eating disorders. Blair Waldorf must pie.
So I saved one for you, Blair.
I'm not really hungry.
Well, what does that mean, you're not really hungry?
Towards the start of the series, we learned that Blair's character struggled with bulimia. It added a deeper layer to the seemingly perfect character and showed us the toll her family dynamic had on her.
I'm very stressed. And with you and Serena down my throat, I can hardly think straight. Never mind keep food down.
Maybe you just need to take a little break, huh? Visit your father?
Serena was there for her when she relapsed in the first season, but her eating disorder wasn't brought up much after that. It remains unclear why the show dropped such an important subject.
Darling, she's fine. She has been for 2 months. What did the doctor say? Don't drive us crazy.
Okay.
Many fans agree that it would have been an excellent opportunity to further comment on the issue and help those who are facing a similar battle. Number 7. Emancipation. There Might Be Blood and the Magnificent Archibalds. Jenny Humphrey went through a lot, and much of it damaged her relationship with her dad. Notably, she felt that Rufus treated her like a child because he thought she was too young to start her own fashion business.
Dad, I already have 32 missed calls on my phone. Okay, and those people aren't calling to tell me how mad they are that I ruined their party. They're calling to tell me that they like my designs and they want to meet me.
Well, those people are not your father, and speaking for him, I have never been more disappointed.
Instead of taking no for an answer, she moved out and started looking into emancipation. In other words, she wanted a court to grant her total independence from her parents, making her an adult in the eyes of the law.
Just fill out these papers authorizing the investigation. Once you sign them, your parents will be notified.
Wait, they have to be notified?
Well, of course. They need to know you no longer want to be their child.
Most of the time, emancipation is reserved for kids who are mistreated at home. In other words, it's an extremely serious matter. Of course, the situation completely broke Rufus's heart. Thankfully, Jenny ultimately didn't go through with it.
But there's nothing you can do to make me stop loving you.
Number 6. Revenge Tapes. The Return of the Ring. Season 5 was a roller coaster, but one of the most questionable things that came out of it was that video. Serena proved how vengeful she could be when she tricked Dan into thinking Blair had chosen Chuck over him.
I thought she changed.
She's never gonna change. Don't you see, Dan, the Blair that you're in love with isn't the real Blair. It's the one that you created in your book. And she's always loved Chuck.
This did end up happening, but she had no clue it would. What's worse, she taped her and Dan hooking up. It was a complete violation, and he was rightfully outraged when he found out.
Please don't act like you're innocent here. I mean, it was mutual. We both used each other.
I was trying to escape my own pain, and you were trying to destroy your best friend. Those are two different things.
Did we mention this all went down in the same spot where she slept with Nate while he was dating Blair? The act was reprehensible, and fans agree that it negated all of Serena's character development. It goes without saying, but this was a stellar lesson in what not to do.
And now there's nothing standing in the way of us.
Serena, there is no us. There's only you. And now that our parents are splitting up, I never have to see you again.
Number 5. Teen pregnancy. A thin line between Chuck and Nate.
I'm not pregnant. I command myself not to be pregnant.
With characters as active as these, the show was bound to explore this topic sooner or later. Gossip Girl posted a picture of Serena looking at pregnancy tests, not knowing that Blair was the one who thought she might be pregnant.
You admitted that your period was late.
Yes, I've been very stressed. I had that chem test on Friday.
And you're acting like a total because you're not hormonal?
Maybe I am a total Did you ever think about that?
But Dan and everyone else took the blast at face value. Not only did this storyline tackle the subject of teen pregnancy, it also addressed what it's like when such rumours start to spread and get blown out of proportion.
Hey, Mom.
Yes, I'm pregnant, and it's yours.
Needless to say, everyone was put in an uncomfortable position. While Blair wasn't pregnant in the end, there's no doubt that this was one of the show's more serious storylines. Number 4. Parents who don't parent. Various. Most of the time, the parents on Gossip Girl were too busy with their own drama to pay attention to their kids.
Oh, your mother. Remember how she always used to just jet off to Mystique or Ibiza without warning while you and Eric were still in school?
Eleanor always knew when we showed up with our overnight bags.
Lily had a new boyfriend.
Although Rufus started out as a pretty good TV dad, even he ended up getting caught up in more than a few messes. Though they often acted like adults, it's important to remember that the teens on this show were just that. They often drank and used illicit substances, but were seldom disciplined.
Your Uncle Jack Bass is your closest living relative, and as such has been named as your legal guardian. Are you comfortable with this?
Curfew? None. Girls sleeping over? Yes, please.
Of course, there was also Lily and Rufus's long-lost son, who was forgotten about almost as soon as he was found. Granted, there were some sweet moments, but as a whole, the parent-child relationship on this show left a lot to be desired.
We moved some money offshore before I left, enough to get a house on the ocean. Weather's always perfect, people are nice.
I'm so happy you're living it up in the Caribbean while we're squatting with no heat in New York.
Number 3, trying to fit in. Various. This was a big theme in the series, as both Jenny and Dan were desperate to fit in with Manhattan's elite.
You're going out with Serena, and I'm going to kiss on the lips. Who said this family wasn't cool?
The former was especially set on becoming one of the popular girls in school, and often gave in to peer pressure. She even stole a dress to get on Blair's good side.
I got this at Resurrection. Remember I was telling you about the really great dress I bought?
Her mother's one-of-a-kind Valentina that just happened to disappear from her closet.
However, this is a serious issue that affects most high schoolers as they try to find themselves. Often, they'll endure mistreatment at the hands of the cool kids in order to be accepted. After all, Dan was essentially a nobody until he started dating Serena.
The way you feel, it never goes away. It just gets worse.
I'm sorry, I don't quite...
You'll always use your dessert fork for your entree. You'll always feel underdressed, no matter what you wear.
At the end of the day, the Humphreys just wanted to feel like they belonged, which is something most of us can relate to. Number 2, toxic friendships. Various. Though they all claimed to be best friends, these characters were no saints. They constantly fought, schemed, and tore each other down.
Running out of colors here, Blair.
And I'm running out of patience. Enough, okay?
It's enough when I say it's enough.
Serena and Blair were arguably the biggest culprits, but they certainly weren't the only ones. Chuck and Nate had their fair share of petty fights and drama too.
I took what Blair kept throwing at you and you kept throwing back. So somehow you screwing Blair for sport is my fault? It wasn't for sport. She needed someone and I was there. Oh, so you cared about her? Guys were broken up. For how long, a week? An hour?
And we all know that things went south between Jenny and Agnes. There's also Georgina, whose arrival in town usually spelled trouble.
Okay, you don't want to throw me a homecoming party, I get it. But let's have a cocktail, catch up. S, you're really gonna hurt my feelings. You know how I get when my feelings are hurt.
Friends shouldn't sabotage friends, but the Gossip Girl teens seemingly never got that memo. All in all, the show had so many toxic pairings that we can barely think of one that was healthy. You know what they say, with friends like these, who needs enemies?
You can't even help it! It's who you are! I just thought maybe this time it would be different. I should have known I'd be wrong.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, stalking people. New York, I love you, XOXO.
OMG, you are not going to believe who Gossip Girl is. Wait, Gossip Girl is real?
Many people were incredibly disappointed when Dan was revealed as Gossip Girl. But whether you loved or hated the twist, we can all agree that it painted him in an extremely creepy light. Looking back, he essentially used the blog to write himself into the world of the Upper East Side.
I'd overheard enough conversations to be able to mimic the language of the Constance girls, but every writer needs his muse. And it wasn't until that photo of Serena in the white dress that I knew I had something strong enough to actually create a legend, launch a website.
In order to do so, he stalked the people he dated and wanted to be friends with. While other characters got involved with the site later on, it was his responsibility. And he took things way too far, sharing personal secrets and destroying people's lives in the process.
Dan, I cannot believe you are the one responsible for all of this poison. The damage you've done to your friends, to your family, to your own sister.
Jenny wanted to get on Gossip Girl.
He was inexplicably rewarded with a happy ending, but his actions were undoubtedly dangerous and unforgivable. Nobody should ever try them at home.
That was from all of us.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.